Welcome back, everyone. Today I want to show you some interesting discoveries I made on Mars using some of these high definition maps they have released to the public. Not only that, but wait till you see how close in proximity these two discoveries are made. I think you're going to find this pretty interesting, but very quickly I want to show you a video captured over the states of Florida and Georgia of a daytime meteor or some sort of fireball that basically took a path from the Gulf of Mexico over Tampa through Orlando and then out over the Atlantic Ocean. This is a very cool video that was posted by Brent Franker, and as I hit play here, you're going to see some very interesting colors with this fireball. Not only that, but take a look at the length in which it travels across the sky, and here we go. Top right to bottom left, and there it is. As we zoom in and slow it down a little bit, you don't see much of a tail, but you do see almost a yellow ring around it, and then almost a faded green color in the middle. I'll go ahead and leave this linked in the description box, but just a very cool, rare daytime sighting captured over the states of Florida and Georgia. And now I want to go ahead and show you these two discoveries I made on Mars using a few different tools. One of them is pretty well known and it's on Google Earth. Both of these very close to each other and both of them very much look like eyes. So here we are on Google Earth, which I'm sure many of you know about, but for those of you that don't know, there is a menu up here on the top. And if you go ahead and click this planet that looks like Saturn with the ring on it, we get some different options here. We have Earth highlighted right now. We have the sky, Mars, and the moon. So we're going to go ahead and switch this over to Mars. And now we have the ability to check out at least what they claim to be are satellite images of the surface of Mars. And for those of you that have been following my YouTube channel, you know I do a lot of this type of stuff, specifically on Antarctica, where we've made some crazy discoveries, but I want to show you exactly where I found these. And again, there's not just one, but two of them in a very small area. You are now looking at the first eye that I found that almost has a second one next to it with a straight long eyebrow here. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. We're going to go ahead and orient ourselves. There we go. Now we have a better view and we can zoom in and you can clearly see that the eye itself was created by some sort of crater, a meteor strike. More than likely is what caused this due to the lack of atmosphere they say is on Mars or not on Mars. But how weird is this? And what are the chances of nature creating such a shape that definitely reminds me of some sort of ancient depiction of an eye? It reminds me of ancient Egypt. It reminds me of the Nasca Desert. And if we zoom in here very close, you can see this is like some sort of plateau where both ends of it come to this point here. Obviously there is the crater there, and then if we go to the right side of the eye, it comes to yet another point with different little craters around it. Now what's very interesting is that there's another map that we can use that is even more detailed than this, and once I found this I had to go to that chart and check out what it looked like in even more high depth. I'm going to get down there and show you some pretty crazy detail on both of these anomalies. And again, one of the first things that came to mind, as you could see on your screen, are the ancient Nasca Lines. I'm sure many of you have heard of these before, but these images in the Nasca Desert are said to have been created by the ancients as symbols that they, in theory, used to communicate with gods or even extraterrestrials. As you can see here, this is almost like a human type figure. We saw that spider earlier. Here is one that looks like a monkey with a long curling tail. And for hundreds and thousands of years, scientists have been trying to figure out exactly what these are doing here and what their purpose was. That could be a topic for another video, but again, that is the first thought that came to mind when I found this eye. Now, what's even more interesting is that as I continue to search this area, I happen to find another area that represents another eye. Now, it may not look as defined in this image, but there is a very awesome website that I'm going to share with you now, and that is this one right here. It's called the murraylab.caltech.edu website, where it basically has the entire mapped out surface of Mars. And what I've come to learn is that it is a lot more detailed than Google Earth. So we can zoom in on that first eye that we notice on Google Earth, and you can see right here that we can get way down into this feature and see the lip of this crater here. We can basically see that all of this is an uplift or some sort of plateau that forms the left side of this eye that comes to a point right here. If we zoom back out, we could see the right side of the eye coming to that upper point in this area. And now let's check out that other eye with this high def map, and you're going to be able to see what I was talking about. We'll go ahead and rotate a little bit here so we can see overhead. And now let's zoom back into this, and you can clearly see another eyeball shape made by a crater, and then the defined outside of the eye coming to the point that would be next to the bridge of the nose. And then on the right side, it kind of reminds me of ancient Egyptian makeup, where the edge of the eye swirls out in this direction. I mean, this stuff is so cool. This website is incredible. And again, we'll zoom down so I could show you some of the features here. We see a lot of different rock formations, smaller craters due to the lack of atmosphere, just like we see on the moon. And it's just incredible how these two anomalies can be so close together. I'm actually going to measure these for you, which is a lot easier to do on Google Earth. So we'll go ahead and zoom out here, and we'll try to get them both in the frame at the same time. There we go. And we'll zoom back down, and here we go. The first eye we showed here with a possible second one in the eyebrow, and then that second eye way up here. We'll go ahead and get the measuring tool, bring it up here. We'll do it in miles to start. We'll go center to center, and that is showing about 157 miles apart. Now that is a long distance, but when you take into account the size of Mars, or the size it's said to be, this would be just a couple hour trip in a vehicle. We'll go ahead and switch that to kilometers, and it's about 253 kilometers from center to center. I would really love to know what you guys think about this, because it is just crazy to find two of these in pretty much the same region. Here is one more look over top and close up of the second eyeball and the right swirling edge. And then of course, as we zoom out, we can go and check out the other one, which sits right here. And it is so hard to not picture some sort of owl, because that is what it reminds me of, with this thing that looks like the eyebrow and the second crater right here. And again, you can get way in here and check this stuff out. It's pretty incredible what this website has. And even with this raised trench over here, if that's even a term, we see these weird waves. I don't know if that's some sort of sand or dirt buildup from the winds. You can see them a lot closer right here. I don't know if this is caused by wind or some sort of erosion, but I find it very odd that on this line right here, there's these constant craters right next to each other, one after another after another. And then if you move a little bit to the left of that, you don't see that many here, at least not lined up like they are right on this trench or this raised lip that we see on the surface. This area is very cool as well. We could zoom in here, and again, it almost looks like steps, but it looks like some sort of erosion or something caused by wind. Over here again, we see just crater after crater after crater. It just looks almost man-made, or should I say Martian-made. All right, we'll zoom out one more time here and just check out the intense detail we have of this area. And once again, I want to know what you all think. There are many different things on this surface and on these maps that look fairly weird, to say the least. This almost looks like half a face sticking out of the ground here. Maybe I'll make another video about this one and we'll analyze that as well. And there you have it, my friends. I'll be doing a lot more of these videos when it comes to Antarctica and Mars, and of course anywhere else on Earth that we find some interesting things to talk about. I will leave the coordinates for these two objects in the description box, and tell me if you can find anything interesting. If you do, please leave it down below or use any of the contact information in the info box, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want to use, and we'll see what we can find. All right, my friends, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. Shout out to Canada, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.